The long storied history between Omaha Creighton Prep and Omaha Central adds another chapter tonight, and a chapter that has the most buzz in nearly 11 years. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Game Time on Your View. Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. It's pretty simple tonight. Prep and Central are longtime rivals. Heck, they even wrote a book about it. But tonight it takes on a different element, Connor, because Prep is 5-0, ranked number 3. Central off a big win. They're 4-1, ranked number 4.
It's so great when these programs are both relevant, and they both are this year. Talking about Central coming off of a huge win against Westside last week, and Prep starting the season 5-0. Both teams feel awesome about themselves going into this one tonight.
Let's talk about Central. They are 4-1, coming off that win against Westside. First time that Westside had lost at home since 2019. But they have an array of speed, and the guy that gets the ball in their hands is a 4-year starter, quarterback B.J. Newsom.
Yeah, and they'll have to lean on that speed a little bit tonight. Newsom, saw a little bit of him in the run game last week against Westside. That was new. He ran for over 100 yards, but he's completing 60% of his passes. He distributes well to his playmakers on the outside.
For Creighton Prep, as I mentioned, they're 5-0. Best start since 2008 when they finished the regular season 9-0. They have a lot of returners from last year. D'Angelo Walker at running back is a key returning.
No doubt. Angela Walker's going to have to get it going. Prep's going to try and get things going in the middle of the field with their big offensive line, and they'll get going behind Walker. Walker, he's been excellent so far this season for the Junior Jays.
Beautiful night at refurbished Burke Stadium. Great game on tap. It's a matchup of Creighton Prep and Central. Kickoff on Game Time is coming up next.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Game Time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975.
Beautiful night for football as you see the refurbished Burke Stadium. Just in the last year, the home of the state track and field meet. And they put $10 million or $8 million into the facility. It was a 10-year plan, and it is spectacular. And again, 83 degrees. You couldn't ask for a better night here in October on the first Friday in October as we begin week number 6 with the top 4 showdown. Number 3, Creighton Prep. Number 4, Omaha Central. And you get a look at the Central Eagles, who last week, what a victory, Connor, to go to Phelps Field at Westside and win that game in the manner that they did. And it wasn't like they had a win late. They were up 21-0 at halftime, and they did one of the rare things, and that was containing Tay Jenkins and also Braylon Warren as you get a look at Terrence Mackey, their head coach.
Yeah, they almost had to play a little bit of defense late and just fend off Westside. Westside hadn't lost at home since 2019, hadn't lost to an OPS school since 2017, so a huge win for Central to get back and sort of at least get back to square one, according to Terrence Mackey, after losing to North a few weeks prior.
Terrence Mackey now in his 3rd year. Last year, 6-4. And there is Tim Yonk, now in his 9th year, and after back-to-back 4 and 6 seasons, they are off to a 5-0 start. They had a big victory last week over Papillion La Vista. Last time Prep got off to this good of a start, in 2008, they went 9-0, and we are set for football tonight. There's a buzz in the stadium. There's a great crowd. You see a lot of alums, well-known alums for these two storied schools, Central and Prep. They have been playing this game for a long time. Last year, it came down to the last second when Central scored to win 34-30. What will the 2025 edition entail as we are set to go? Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp, our fantastic crew. Game time on Your View. Prep won the toss. They deferred until the second half. And so kicking off for the Junior Jays, Rory McGrary, who is a sophomore, 4 kickoffs this year, has not had a touchback. And the left footer steps into it, and on cue, he'll have his first touchback of the season. And we're going to look at the Central offense first. This is an offense that put up 31 against a good West Side defense last week. It is spearheaded by a 4-year starter in B.J. Newsom. Newsom on the year is thrown for 754 yards, 13 touchdown passes. He is the 6th leading passer in Class A. But he is a rare one, Connor. He's a 4-year starter at Omaha Central. That just does not happen.
It's just a ton of experience, and can't wait to see how he's able to distribute. Central's going to want to get the ball to the outside, to the numbers, but as mentioned in the open there, he got things going on the ground a little bit last week. We'll see how Central wants to run him this week as well.
He accounted for 252 yards of total offense and 3 scores against Westside. And they start after the touchback on the 20-yard line. That's the rule in high school football. We'll feature 2 potential future Huskers as Newsom on the first play throws it to the near side, and it's caught by Caprice Keith, the future Iowa State Cyclone. Broke a tackle down the near boundary, and he'll have enough for a first down. That's the one thing that Prep talked about before the game is the speed of Central. They get the ball on the outside. Newsom to Keith, and they move the sticks right away on the opening play.
Well, you can see right away defensively for Prep, they want to try and keep everything in front of them, at least it looked like in that play. Nice play by Keith just to squeeze by through the sideline. That's Central speed showing right away.
Keith, Grigsby, Pittman, Haney, and then with Newsom directing the offense. That's a pickup of 12 right away for the Eagles. Little toss to Kylon Haney. Haney reads his block, gets to the outside. He's across the 40 before he is held up and wrestled down. So a good start once again for the Central Eagles. Preston Woodard makes the tackle, and it'll be close to a first down. And this will be the Prep defense, and this is where they've hung their hat this year, Connor. It is full of havoc.
Oh, yeah, everywhere. I mean, everywhere you turn, you got interceptions all across the defense, tackles for loss, and it's big and physical up front. So Prep's going to want to use that piece of it inside to their advantage.
20.5 sacks, 41 tackles for losses under the direction of former Husker Brian Monson. And Haney couldn't find any running room, and he runs right into the heart of that Junior J defense. Tonight, the Junior J's wearing all black, and coming up to make the tackle on the play is Jake Bronk, good-looking junior defensive lineman who makes his 5th tackle for loss this season.
And those black uniforms look sharp. We were talking about them earlier as they came out. It's a really good-looking game. Good helmet game if you have one in high school football in Omaha.
So much tradition. Remember, they once played a game at Rosenblatt. They used to play at Rosenblatt. Then they played in 2010 at Rosenblatt on the anniversary of the incredible 1960 game. Newsom to throw on 3rd down, and he lost the ball. It's free. It's picked up, and they're going to say it's an incomplete pass. Newsom lost the handle. Shaw was there to get the bounce off the field turf, but it's an incomplete pass. And after a good opening 2 plays, Central is going to have to punt the football away.
Oh, and B.J. Newsom is awfully lucky there. We're going to get another look at this. Just lost the grip on it. Oh, man. I don't know what you think, Gary. That thing might be loose.
Now, there is no, until you get to Memorial Stadium in the championship game in Class A, in all classes, there is no replay. The only replay is what we have on Game Time. So, after back-to-back first downs to begin the game, Central will have to punt it away and high into the air, and a fair catch is called for in contact, and we'll get a flag. As coming up was Kosmich to make the fair catch, and he got bumped on the play, and that is going to cost Central yardage. So everything was going well for Central, and now not so good as fair catch interference is called. Prep is going to start with really good field positions. We get another look. Just accidental, I guess you could say, but that cannot be the pleading of the case, is Andrell Nichols.
I think that's also wind aided, too. That wind is coming in pretty strong out of the south, and right at the last second there, the returner comes up, and Nichols had to try and squeeze out of the way. So Prep's going to get some more yards, and they're going to start in the central half of the field.
Jack Lammers is the quarterback. He is a senior, 6'3", 190 pounds, 382 yards passing on the year, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This is an offense. They throw for 86 a game. They run for 164. As Jack Lammers runs the Tim Yonk offense. This is always an offense with Tim Yonk, and you would expect it, former Nebraska fullback under Tom Osborne. They will run the ball, and they run the ball to begin with Angelo Walker. And he pinballs his way to the 45-yard line of the Eagles. Torrey Pittman III, the junior 5-star safety headed to Nebraska, is assisting on the tackle, and that's a pickup of 5 right away for the Junior Jays. As you get a look, Walker will run behind a big offensive line.
And you saw right away both of these sides going to their bread and butter right away. Central went on the outside, and Prep went right to the middle of the field.
Lineup's brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets. The 2nd down and 6. Walker last week had a big day against Papillion La Vista. And he's the lone setback on the toss play. Tried to get to the outside, and it got sealed up, and he goes down. Good pursuit. This is an area in the last couple of weeks where Central has gotten better, and that is sealing the edge on defense. You're not going to get outside very often, Connor, on this speed. And we see here Walker slammed on the brakes, and then he was in trouble.
Yeah, this is an excellent play. Like you said, sealing the edge there. Demarius Mumphrey is out there to make first contact and then seal up the play.
So now it'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Prep has beaten DeSmet from St. Louis, last year's Class 6A champion in Missouri. That was a eye-opener, and that was a welcome to 2025 victory on the opening week. They've beaten Burke, Southeast, Millard West last week, won by 11 against Papillion La Vista, when the defense forced 9 punts and wreaked their havoc. Now on 3rd down and 8, Lammers is trying to do it. Play action, got rid of it quick, and the pass is caught. It's going to be short of the 1st down. Nice catch by Kosmich, but it will bring up a 4th down. So 4th down and 2 awaits Tim Young.
I see this throw from Lammers here, just a little bit low, and it might have came loose there at the end, but they'll mark it 2 yards short of the 1st down, and it'll give the Junior Jays an opportunity to go for 2 here. The thing just came out a little wobbly out of Lammers' hands.
Central punted on their opening possession. This is the first possession for the Junior Jays. They face 4th and 2 at the 41. Walker in the backfield with Lammers, who barks out the signal. Central showing pressure. Now Lammers looks to the sideline to change the play. Mumphrey is up on the line of scrimmage. Now the play clock winding down, and Prep is going to take a timeout.
And Prep's thinking, can we get 2 yards, but first maybe can we get somebody to jump? So this is a big play for Central. It's a big play in terms of how you feel going forward as well. If Central can get him off the field, preventing him from getting the 2 yards, I mean, that's going to be Prep's bread and butter. So this is an important play early right here.
Week number 6 of the high school season. Boy, it just flies by. We're in Class A tonight. This is a key district game. There are only 2 unbeaten teams in Class A. Elkhorn South, after shutting out Burke last night, 63-0. They are 6-0. We'll see Elkhorn South next week against Westside. Boy, that'll be a big game. And then these Creighton Prep Junior Jays. Get a look at the 5-0 Junior Jays. What a start. Last 2 years, they've been 4-6. They have continued, despite being 2 games under 500, they have continued the incredible playoff run. They have been in the postseason 31 straight years for this storied program that faces a 4th and 2. Now they go with a tight bunch set. Direct snap, Walker. Well,
this might turn into a punt here. Let's see.
He is one of the Prep punters. Instead, he will run it. Found a seam. He's got a 1st down. Boy, that opened up over the left side, and a good read by Angelo Walker. And on 4th and 2, they convert and keep the drive alive.
That's a great, almost an option play there. I wonder if Angelo had the chance to kind of do whatever he saw. Patient, fakes right, goes left, and gets 1 yard enough for the 1st down.
Boy, doesn't he play bigger than 6 foot 190?
He sure does. This is a good looking back.
He's 4th in Class A in rushing, and that says a lot. Tate Jenkins, John Cannon, Jaden Sutko, the top three behind him. And they go right back to Walker again. And he weaves his way for about 4 yards before he is brought down on the play. Anthony Dial came in on the play. Nichols as well, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
Well, you wonder, eventually if they keep sticking with this or if there's something that they can build off of it with Walker, who we mentioned is an incredible athlete, and they're going to stay in this same set with Walker behind.
Walker last year 2nd on this team in rushing and receiving, and he takes the direct snap, and he's going to be short. Tackled on the play by Calix Pierce, a good-looking linebacker for the Central Eagles, and here we go again. A 3rd down. Prep on this drive is converted to 4th and 2.
You can see it here. Walker's looking for the over pursuit, but a great play by that Central defender just to sneak in at that last second. Otherwise, that play is going a lot further than that. Calix Pierce, nice play.
This is a defense. Now on 3rd and 1. Walker hesitates, finds his seam, and he's got a 1st down. Nichols comes up to make the tackle. He's been busy on this opening drive. I don't know if that's a good thing. And Walker converts out of the Wildcat, another 1st down.
We're heading toward a big pile of carries for Angelo Walker tonight if this continues.
Walker last week, 102 all-purpose yards, 3 scores. He's got 11 touchdowns on the ground. The drive continues. It reaches the 24. Lammers is back into the game. Look at that bunch set with extra blockers. He runs behind a trio instead. On this play, the direct snap was to Jake Carney. And Carney is good for about 2 yards. And Walker will come back into the game.
Well, just same thing. Throwing the blockers out to the right. Got a nice barrel over block there on the edge, but Central holds their ground for just a pickup of 1. Trying to take a look at Lammers and see where he ended up, or if this is a planned thing by the Junior Jays.
And
now we're going to jump.
Central jumps offside. But as we get a look, and now a 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down and 4. But look at the formation, Connor, that they've used. So they've got the tight splits with the regular offensive line, and then they've got 3 blockers behind it.
It's a great look at it right there.
So there are no wide receivers. Everybody is on the line of scrimmage, and then 3 directly behind the 7 up front. And then Angelo Walker all by himself. Direct snap again, runs left, and he is going to be brought down. Dial with another solo tackle. But that'll be a pickup of 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
This is a huge test for Central. I mean, Prep's just saying, okay, we think we can beat you 11 on 11, and we think we could get 10 yards in less than 4 plays. So far it's working, but it's taken them quite a lot to get down to the 16-yard line.
You wouldn't expect anything from a Tim Young team to be physical and run the ball. Walker runs right ahead, and he's got another 1st down. Pittman and Mumphrey on the tackle, and the clock continues to wind, and Prep continues to move right down the field. This is an offense that averages 30 points a game, and it is 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line as Walker comes out and Carney comes back in.
Yeah, still trying to see if Lammers is down there. Haven't spotted him down on the sideline quite yet, so we'll keep looking for that. But remember, Gary, this drive started at the 50-yard line, or on the other side of the 50 on Central's side. I mean, it is slow moving but effective for Creighton Prep.
They've used the same formation for nearly the entire series. Direct snap to Carney. Follows 6-7 blockers, and he finds his way inside of the 10-yard line.
You could get impatient in runs like this, but Walker and Carney have both done a nice job of just sitting back, see where the blockers end up, see where the defense is flowing, and then hit your hole when you get the opportunity.
Not overthinking it, running the same play over and over. Good addition in the offseason. Former Papela Vista head coach Tim Williams is now on the staff for Tim Young. Great to see Tim before the game. Last week coached against his former employer. Kearney tried to get outside, and he was sliced down along the boundary, and it'll be 3rd down and 4. The Junior Jays can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown.
That's the first run for Prep. that's gone outside the numbers, really outside the blockers at all. Walker had one that got to the near side. Carney takes it outside for the first time and maybe saying, all right, you have to guard that part of the field now.
Walker comes back in. Constantino comes in as a blocker. Walker barks out the signals in the Wildcat. Pauses, finds a hole, and he's going to be brought down. Boy, what a great defensive play. Elijah Middlebrook, the sophomore linebacker, broke the play up and allowed the pursuit to swallow up Walker, and it's going to be 4th and 4.
Yeah, and that's excellent pursuit by Central and finally brought down by Robert McDonald at the end of the play. But the first contact, excellent job by the Eagles. They're going to need one more of those plays on this drive as Prep's going to go for it.
They elect not to go for a field goal. McGarry, their sophomore place kicker, 1 of 3 on the year. So it's 4th down and 4 at the 7. They remain with Walker. Are they going left or are they going right? He's got 10 to block. And they run a pass, and it's incomplete, but there's contact at the goal line. A pop pass from Walker, and the contact right on the goal line between Nichols and Galladay. It's pass interference on Central.
Perfect timing for Prep to break that out, and I'm not sure Nichols knew the ball was in the air, and that's when he ran into the Prep wide receiver.
So Prep will get another first down. This is the first time via the penalty. Referee now coming to speak to Tim Yonk about the penalty, pass interference. And
so just a short penalty.
Half the distance. So it is not a first down. So 4th down and short. Walker remains in. Boy, they are in their bag offensively the last couple of weeks. They ran a Statue of Liberty play last week. Walker straight ahead, spinning, end zone, touchdown. For the 12th time this year, it's a lot of Angelo Walker on the opening drive, and it's 6-0 Junior Jays.
Excellent balance by Walker on this play. He knows that Central's just trying to cut him down at the feet. He stays up on that last effort and crosses in for his 12th of the year.
A left-footed kicker, McGarry, in to try and make it 7-0. What a drive by Prep to begin. And the kick is good. And Prep with a lengthy drive that kept our statistician busy. It culminates with a Walker 4-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Prep.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
A 15-play, 49-yard drive that took 8:17. And Angelo Walker, for the 12th time this year, has a rushing touchdown from 4 yards out.
And it was a lot of Walker and Carney on that drive. Jake Carney does a nice job as well for the Junior Jays. 11 carries for Angelo Walker on drive number 1. So, yeah, he might be in for a busy night tonight.
Central, which punted the football away, another touchback. And so they'll start at the 20-yard line. Central got off to a really good start. Their first 2 plays of the night were first downs. But then the Prep defense bowed up 20.5 sacks, 8 interceptions, 4 pick six, 19 quarterback hurries, 41.5 tackles for loss. That's Brian Monson's defense. A defense that has only given up 62 points in 5 games. And 35 of those came in the opening game against DeSmet Jesuit from St. Louis. So second opportunity for the Eagles of Central. 4-1 on the year. Kylan Haney carries the ball, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Aaron Shaw, looking junior. A lot of players on this Junior J roster that have played a lot of football over the last couple of years. Tim Young said, Connor, this is the best offseason that he has been around in 25 years. And Tim Young's been in the business for 32. 22 of those as a head coach. Previously won a Class B title at Gross. He's been the head coach of Prep since 2017. They'll give Haney back to the line of scrimmage, but now it's 2nd down and 10. Grigsby in motion. Newsome under pressure. Here comes Walker. He got rid of it to Haney out of the backfield. Haney trying to get the outside with a stiff arm and a big collision, as he's knocked out of bounds at about the 28-yard line, so it's going to set up 3rd down and short.
This is a good pickup by Newsome, rolling out to his right. Free rusher comes right in front of his face. He calmly moves to his right and gets it to his playmaker, so a good play by B.J. Newsome.
B.J. Newsome, 4-year starter at quarterback. Dual threat. First time that Central has had a passer with over 4,000 yards in their career. 3rd down and 2. Big play here. Prep showing a 4-man front. Newsome calls his own number, and he fights his way out to the 30, and that's a 1st down. That is all of 6 foot, about 220 pounds. And they'll move the sticks, a 1st down for the Eagles.
And I'd be surprised if we didn't see a lot more of that tonight. Central's going to have to find ways to get their yards in the middle of the field. We know how they're going to get their yards outside on the edges. Newsome's going to have to be a threat to run in the middle.
Newsome, only man in the backfield to throw. Now he runs with a seam up the middle, and he'll slide down, then he got hit late. But it is accidental, as trying to avoid him was Michael Navarro. But another nice run by B.J. Newsome.
And lucky Navarro didn't get picked up for one there. A little contact at the end. Like you said, no harm, no foul there, but we could have been a 50-50 call either way.
Newsome not afraid to run. He is a dual threat quarterback. Really, it's been fun to watch him develop over 4 years. His father a coach. 4-year starter at Central. How about that? 43 times he's run the football. Now on 2nd down and 5, he'll throw it, but first there is a flag, and it will be on the Eagles. Ball start. That'll push him back 5 yards. Central last year 6-4. Terrence Mackey back at Central. He's a product of North Omaha. Works in the inner city with the Omaha Police Department. Last year they started 2-3. Then they won 4 in a row. You as a Central alum, it's kind of hard to believe all the great success that Central has had in football. Last year was the first time they'd been in the postseason since 2015.
Yeah, really hard to believe, but he's got this group going, and what a watershed win last week against Westside, and this would feel similar if they're able to do it tonight. But they got a long way to go, 12 minutes down against the Junior Jays.
Quickly paced first quarter, eaten up by an 8+ minute touchdown drive by Prep. 7-0 Jays over the Eagles.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
That is the Creighton Prep student section. Boy, did they turn out. I always tell people that if you really want to get a true sense of the prep student section, go to Christmas in the Cage. They have a great support group, and they're out in full force tonight. Second down and 10. Newsom to begin the second quarter. Now he's got a lot of green space in front of him. He'll slide down at the 39. And boy, he's taken some hits as he has gone to the turf. He's going to be about a yard short. So it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, Prep's got to be really careful on those slides. Newsom has stood in there, and he really hasn't protested after either of those, but those are close to being late hits. And we'll see as this field changes in the second quarter how that affects Central in the pass game as well. Here's the slide for Newsom, coming in just a little bit late there for Creighton Prep.
Central 4-1, Prep 5-0. Prep is number 3, Central's number 4. The man that does the rankings, Stu Pospisil of the World Herald, will join us at halftime. Toss play to Haney, and he hits the X button across the 40, and that'll be a first down. Kylan Haney, who was offered by Nebraska a couple of years ago. Satori Pittman III has committed to Nebraska, and Haney offered as a freshman. He started as a freshman. He has other offers. Cincinnati has come in, Wisconsin, Kansas State, Kansas. Trey Taylor, the highly ranked quarterback in the 27 class, said he wants Haney as his running back. Newsom under pressure, goes down. That's another sack on the Brian Monson defensive chart. As the Junior Jays got to Newsom, the pocket collapsed, and Gavin Trapp is there to bring the senior quarterback to the ground.
As Central tried to finally get something going downfield, and an excellent pursuit really started in the middle. David Heine kind of breaking things up there for Creighton Prep, but 3 Junior Jays get home at the same time.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 15. And Creighton Prep, this defense has been fantastic. Last week in their win, they forced 9 punts. They also were able to contain Brody Parr. Held him to 17 carries and 48 yards. 6 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries. And a flag comes out, and this is going to be another penalty on Central. And this is what we've seen out of Central. We saw Central and North a couple of weeks ago, and crazy to think that game was 13-13 at halftime, and then North outscored Central 38-7 in the second half. Cannon had a monster night, 312 yards on the ground. But where Central is really good is when this is not an issue. But when they are struggling, it is because they are moving the wrong way via the penalty. Now another penalty here makes it 2nd down and 20.
And those type of penalties, they tend to compound as well. So once you see one, you see a few of them. That's why Central is such a momentum team. They need to start well. So far, they're going to have to get their way out of a hole.
Newsom to throw, but he's chased out of the pocket on the run, throws downfield. It is caught, but for minimal gain, Haney makes the catch. Heine makes the tackle.
Heine on Haney.
Sounds like a podcast or a law firm. Again, the one thing you notice right away about this Prep defense, Connor, is they are so sound in tackling.
Yeah.
The form tackling, they're coached very, very well. You don't get a lot of leaky yardage, and that's where Central usually makes teams pay. They made Westside pay last week with the leaky yardage. They're hoping for at least 16 yards here on 3rd down and 16. Newsom rolls out, stops, steps up, under pressure. He got hit. The ball comes free. It's taken out of midair by Keating. Keating the other way to the end zone. Hauled down by Haney. That defense is filthy.
Central was just trying to get something going downfield, maybe biting off a little bit too much there. And Prep only rushing 4, causing a lot of pressure in the middle of the field. And Newsom puts the ball on the turf for really the second time. This one cost him dearly.
Brogan Keating caught the ball out of midair. I believe it was Jake Brock that had the initial hit on Newsom to dislodge the football. And Keating got a gift and got all the way down to the 9-yard line. Walker to run behind the big boys all the way to the 5.
Now you feel like, okay, you could just get this steamroll going down the hill. 2 short fields for Prep so far tonight. trying to cash in on their second touchdown.
So after the beginning of the game, which looked like normal offense, Prep has gone with the Wildcat running behind 10 blockers. Walker, first score of the night on a 4-yard touchdown run on a 15-play, 49-yard drive. This would be only a 9-yard scoring play. Walker, patience, follows his blockers, and he's down to the 2-yard line. Lowered in the third, tried to strip the ball free, and now it'll be third down and goal.
I mean, what do you do when you get your 5 on the offensive line, you got your 3 basically offensive linemen behind, and they're all running together in unison, waiting for anyone to approach them?
I have no idea. And that's a fairly stout defensive line. Now it's third down and goal, same formation. Walker to the end zone, touchdown. For now the 13th time this year. I don't know, Connor, how you're going to stop this tonight. He's running behind 10 guys blocking, and the numbers game is in favor of Prep.
Well, and it's 2 short fields as well. And so Central has to extend a drive here. Their second drive, they turn it over, and it turns into easy Creighton Prep points.
McGarry's kick is up. It is good. 2-touchdown lead for Prep. 2 touchdowns for Angelo Walker. This one from 2 yards out.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Short field after the Newsom fumble and the return by Keating from the 9-yard line. Walker gets it all the way down and punches it in from 2, and it's a 2-score lead. And a short kickoff is going to roll out of bounds. That's a huge break for Central, which has had to punt the football, and then they lost the football on a turnover. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk not only to Stu Pospisil of the Omaha World Herald about the state of high school football currently as we reach week 6 of the regular season, 6 of 9. Also, Dan Schinzel, the athletic director at Creighton Prep, will stop by as well as we're into the heart of the fall sports season. Basketball is right around the corner, and you know, Prep and Central, they've had some dandies in hoops as well. Josh Lutke against Eric Behrens, and now Josh Lutke against Bruce Chubbuck.
It's been fun to watch and be a part of a little bit over the years. These two schools definitely rivals. A lot of the kids live in the same part of town, so it's been fun to watch. So far tonight for Prep, more fun.
Newsom calls his own number, and he'll find his way for 4. First time in about, you got to go back to 2014 to find when both these teams were ranked this high. As you got to look at Newsom just trying to get some yardage and some momentum, it looks like, on the opening play call.
And that's what Central has to do. They got to get in front of the chains a little bit more and desperately need to extend a drive now. You can't really afford to have this one end before the 50-yard line. You got to get points too, but really got to extend a drive.
Newsome to Grigsby. They get him in space. Yasir Grigsby finds a block. There's a flag down. Grigsby dancing all over the place like it's late night. He's into Prep territory, but this is going to come back.
But that's the idea of what Central needs to do. I mean, you need to get the ball to the outside of the hashes, and make Prep commit defenders to that portion of the field. That way you can open some things up for the run game in the middle. So, you're not going to be able to do so when you're getting driven backwards due to penalties. That's been the issue so far tonight, one of many for Central.
So many great Grigsbys have played at Central. Yasir, who is only a sophomore, three-sport athlete, is the next one. He has had a fantastic year, made a great play there, but it's called back due to holding. So it'll be 2nd down and 12. 14-0 Prep here in the second quarter. 2 Angelo Walker touchdowns. Newsome back to Grigsby to the near side. And this time, good pursuit by Prep, and Grigsby is going nowhere.
Yeah, she is just hard to take down, though. So Central just is going to have to keep tossing it to the numbers and seeing if they can get a couple blocks here. We'll take another look at this one. Newsome looks right out there immediately. And an excellent play coming and really breaking that up. Not in on the tackle, but Angelo Walker comes from behind and closes off that inside portion of the field.
3rd down and 10. They really haven't attempted to stretch the field because Newsome's been under pressure. He'll have Haney in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the bottom, 2 to the top. We have not mentioned Torrey Pittman III's name yet. He's in the slot, top of your screen. Newsome under pressure. Shaw's got him. Shaw's got him down.
And Newsome lost a helmet there as well. This is Aaron Shaw with the straight-up bull rush and pushing everyone back, getting through. Nowhere to go for Newsome, who's thrown to the turf at the end of this. And another drive that ends for Central way, way behind the sticks. At least the saving grace here is they get to punt with the wind behind them, but not what Central wanted out of their first 3 drives.
Jamal Jackson to punt it away. Prep's going to end up with good field position. Kosmich with the return. Might be a face mask. I believe they have thrown the flag, and Prep is going to get excellent field position, up 2 scores, but Shaw is one to watch, and this is just, there's all kinds of havoc being created by Prep, and that's a good word when you're talking about defense, but Shaw is one to watch in the class of 27. So the face mask call, and Central coming off the big win against Westside last week. How big was it? This is where people are supposed to say, how big was it? It was the first time that Westside had lost at home since 2019. First time they'd lost in the regular season since 2022. First time they had lost to an OPS team since 2017. Westside last week, they were up 21-0 on Westside, 131-28. But a slow start here, now down 2 scores. And look it, we get normal offense. No Wildcat. Jack Lammers, the quarterback, is back in to begin this series that originates from the 48-yard line. They turn, they hand it off to Walker. Walker slowed up by Mumphrey. And then in to clean it up, Grigsby and Pittman III.
Well, it could be quite an adjustment. Defensively, you're just so geared up for, all right, we have the big moving barge in front of us, and now they try to stretch it to the outside, but a good start to the drive for Central in on the play.
In Central, 4-1. Last year, 6-4. Prior to that, they had a stretch of 1-8, 4-5, 4-5. Got to the postseason for the first time since 2015. Speaking of the postseason, the wild card point standings through 5 weeks, Prep is number 1. The season ended today. That would surprise a lot of people. Prep would be the number 1 overall seed, and they will be called for a penalty. A false start. That'll push them back 5 yards. This is such a storied rivalry. You're going to look at Tim Yonk, who has now been a part of it for a while. 9th year as the head coach at Prep. Previously won a state title in 2012 at Gross when his son was the quarterback. But this rivalry, back in 1960, had Gale Sayers and Tom Jaworski were playing in the game at Rosenblatt Stadium. And then one of the last events at Rosenblatt, and I don't know if you were there, Connor, they played on the anniversary of that game.
They wore throwback jerseys. Yeah. It was a cool night. It was the year after I graduated high school, but an awesome event. I was there that night, and that was the event that closed down Rosenblatt Stadium.
Lammers, he calls his own number from the quarterback position. Gets minimal gain. Elijah Middlebrook, a good-looking sophomore. We've touched on this throughout the course of the 25 season. A lot of young players are getting quality playing time in Class A, and this will set up now a second down or a third down and 14.
Yeah, this is a really big opportunity for Central to get off the field and just get a positive result, some momentum moving in their direction.
Quickly paced.
Throw it through the air. Sorry, Gary.
Quickly paced first half. Why? Prep, their opening scoring drive, 8 minutes and 17 seconds, and Creighton Prep will take a timeout as they face a third down and 12. We will see the decision made by the Junior Jays when you return. It's game time on YurView.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Third down and 12. As you were alluding to, Connor, as we welcome you back to Game Time on YurView at the beautiful refurbished Burke Stadium, Prep Central tonight. This is a key play here. Lammers play action, throws it out of the backfield to the fullback. It is caught, and it is going to be a first down. What a play call. As finally going down, Vincent Constantino. The first pass of the night results in a first down.
Yeah, and just getting a guy to the edge here, and it's one-on-one. Constantino and Torrey Pittman. Torrey Pittman comes in a little bit. He's not got great position behind. Can't quite pull him down. That's good power from Constantino to push ahead for the first down.
That is a good prep name. Vincent Constantino.
Sure is.
There's got to be a Caniglia in there. And that first down now into Central territory at the 40. That was third down and 12, and they go back on the ground to Walker. Kept his balance and ran into a teammate, but he falls forward for a pickup of 8. Boy, he runs really, really hard. He runs a lot. He is now over 125 carries on the season.
And look at him. He just stays on his feet, too. He takes that first contact, just absorbs it, steps back into it. But, man, he does a really, really nice job. And as there's a Eagle down in the field, slow to get up, it is Pittman.
That is Torrey Pittman III, who is in the class of 27, 5-star safety, and he gingerly walks off the field, and his lower body he is favoring. One of the highest recruits that has either played or committed to Matt Rule. Keep an eye on Torrey Pittman III now on the sidelines as his mates will face a second down and 1. Speaking of Huskers, former Huskers coaching in this game, Tim Yonk, Brian Monson, A.J. Rollins, Titus Adams for Prep, Abdul Muhammad, David Horn for Central. Second down and 1, Lammers under center. They run the inside, handoff to the fullback, and it catches everybody off guard, and it's a pickup of 9. Michael Navarro with the carry, and they got Central leaning the wrong way, and Navarro gets 9.
Well, it can be tough when they're going so much power one way, and then, whoop, here comes the fullback on the counter the other way. I mean, Prep can kind of do, especially after converting that 3rd down and 12. I think that's such a huge play in this game. Now they feel like they could do whatever they want.
90 seconds to go in the first half. Prep only has 1 timeout remaining. They snap it from the 22. Delayed handoff to Walker, runs straight ahead. Ran into his own teammate. That slowed him up after a pickup of about 3. So only 1 timeout remaining. Let's get a look again at Walker on the carry. He's had a busy first half. He's got both touchdowns for the Junior Jays.
And he really does know when to push and pull on the gas, too. He's got a pretty good feel running the ball.
If you're wondering, McGarry, 1 for 3 field goals this year. They turn again as that little delayed handoff and straight at the middle. Walker, who's got great lower body strength, Connor. Now he's inside of the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Clock continues to run, so Prep is trying to figure out when to use that last time out. And remember, Prep will get the football to begin the second half.
Yeah, so this is a huge spot right here.
They hustle to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 2. I formation. Handoff Walker. And Walker, I think he's going to have the first down. It stops the clock.
They're going to mark him a hair short, it looks like.
And this is where Prep will take the timeout.
They'll move it.
Well, he did give him the first down, so now it's at the 12-yard line. Angelo Walker. Boy, what a first half. What a start to the season. In this district that has Westside, Papillion, La Vista, and Fremont. Big game tonight for Westside, trying to bounce back to take on Fremont. Prep and Westside play on the 17th of this month. Prep has been in the postseason every year since 95. 94, there were only an 8-team field, but since they've gone to 16, 31 straight years. They've won 9 titles. Last title that Prep won in football, 04. Incredible run. Tom Jaworski is the head coach. They won the title in 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. They haven't been back to the finals since 2014. The last time that this game had these two programs ranked this high. The 1st down and 10. Prep out of timeouts. Play action. Lammers rolling out. Throws to the near side. It's incomplete.
It'll be interesting here to see how Prep manages these last 15 seconds. Here's Lammers. And, man, put it right on the number there for Brody Austin. Couldn't come up with it. There's Torrey Pittman. We keep a close eye on him. Hasn't returned to the field since he walked off gingerly with an injury. Now he hops up.
Again, Prep doesn't have any timeouts remaining. The clock did stop on the incomplete pass. 15 seconds to go. Lammers in the backfield with Walker on his hip. Handoff Walker. Blocker in front. Cuts to the outside and great defensive play. Oh, what pursuit. Coming over to make the play, Robert McDonald Jr. Prep's got to hurry to the line of scrimmage. The clock is running. They don't have any timeouts. And Lammers will just clock it. There are 3 seconds on the scoreboard in the stadium. I know on your screen it is down to zeros, but there are 3 seconds to go, and it'll set up a field goal attempt of about 28 yards.
That's a really good heads-up play, too, because it looked like an all-or-nothing situation on the run there. You got to have some real trust in your quarterback to be able to put it there on the ground.
The kick is up, and the kick is...
And we had a late substitution on Central, so they're going to move this thing 5 yards closer.
Gary looked like he had plenty of room from 28 yards out. Rory McGarry, just a sophomore. He's 1 for 3 in field goal attempts. As Connor pointed out, the late substitution by Central, they've been plagued by big turnover and penalties here. Now, this will be a 23-yard field goal for the left footer. It's up, and it is good. And what a first half for Prep. They will go to the locker room up 17-0. Trying to get to 6-0. McGarry splits the pipes. Halftime is upon us.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now. Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
It is halftime. Creighton Prep leads Central 17-0 at Burke. Halftime brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. As we welcome you inside of the booth on a beautiful night for football. That is Connor Happer. I'm Gary Sharp. That is Stu Pospisil, the Dean of High School Coverage in the state of Nebraska for the Omaha World Herald. Hello, it's been a while since we've done one of these things.
It has. Thanks for the invite.
Let's quick thoughts after the first 24 minutes of this one.
Well, we talked on the field before the game, and it was, okay, can Prep handle Central speed? That's a check. Can Prep muscle Central? Mm-hmm. That's a check. That's how we're 17-0. But who would have expected Prep to run 2 series out of Wildcat? Yeah. That's the influence of Tim Williams. You have to remember that last year Central lost to Papio in the playoffs, and Tim Williams' last game at Papio,
that's right.
Or second to last game.
Yep.
So he knows how to scheme against the Central defense that flies around, and stroke of genius.
Yep.
And Prep's time management wasn't the best here at the end, but they still got the 3 that now makes it a 3-possession game.
Found a way to get 3 points about it. Why don't we zoom out a little bit and take a look around the state? We do have Stu's top 10 that we could flash up on the screen. You look around, Stu, at some of these teams and the depth that we have in Class A. There's a look at his top 10 right there. Obviously, there's one that stands out at the top. Prep's right in there. Central's right in there. When you look at that top 10, what sort of stands out to you?
Well, the Millard South, stands on a chair, and I mean, it's they were only leading Papio High 16-0 after the first quarter. Only 16-0, and they had 180 yards, so maybe they had a takeaway against them. But Elkhorn South, you're going to have them with Westside next week. Yep. I'll probably see you guys there. Prep Central, that's the 3-4 game tonight. Westside's clobbering Fremont. I think they've had 2 pick-sixes. Yep. Tay-Tay's had 3 touchdowns already. Bryson Williams
having a big night.
Big night for them. North should roll against Buena Vista, which did not get a first down last week. Some of these teams are really struggling. Papio South and Kearney's in a good battle. I think that was 15-14 after the first quarter. Papio South up.
So let's talk about the bigger picture, because you've written about it, you've talked about it, you've covered this sport for a long time. What is the current state of high school football in Nebraska? But let's focus on Class A in particular.
Until the state ADs, it has to come from the schools. Mm-hmm. The NSAA staff, the board, cannot reset the rules. It has to come from the schools, and it was very disappointing to see the list of proposals that were due midweek this week for the coming year. The only proposals for any change in the 180-day, or going from 90 to 180-day, came from Kearney, where I helped Ryan Hoagie with those. He's got to tinker with them a little bit. He didn't quite get all the coverage that's needed. But again, where's District 2? Where's District 1 with Lincoln? There's a problem. You've got to do something. And we have to strengthen the domicile rule. We have to strengthen just the integrity.
Yep.
Coaches, and it starts in the youth level. Yep. I've been saying your community is not what it used to be. You may not know the people on your block at the end of the block. You may not know the people the parents that are in your children's class, but you're going to be running with those people that you've been on the road with all summer or all fall or whatever the youth sport. That becomes the nucleus of your friend base if you're parents. Yeah. And people want to stay together.
Yeah. Stu, we appreciate it. Thanks for all the coverage. Thanks for the support of us on Friday nights, and we'll see where this goes from here, but thank you.
Anytime, guys.
That's Stu Pospisil, the Omaha World Herald. He is the dean of high school coverage in the state of Nebraska. We'll talk to the dean, actually the doc of Creighton Prep, coming up next.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to to stopirsdebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to stopirsdebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Welcome back to Burke. We're at halftime where Creighton Prep leads Omaha Central by a score of 17-0. We are pleased to be joined by one of our favorites, the athletic director at Omaha Creighton Prep, Dr. Dan Schinzel. First of all, congratulations. Great start to this football season.
Yeah, these guys, they got off to a great start. And, the thing is, these guys a lot of them are seniors. And, we like to think this is a 4-year program. And we got such a great coaching staff with Tim and all his assistants. These guys just work with these guys and they get better and better. And I think this is the result of 3 and 4 years of hard work with these juniors and seniors.
You've been around long enough. This is a nice. It's nice to have a buzz here tonight with Prep and Central playing, and the rivalry maybe is back.
Right. Yeah. I tell you what, there were some huge games. I remember back in the '90s. I mean, there was a couple games where there were close to 8, 9, 10,000 people in this stadium. Back when Calvin Jones and that crew was playing for Central, and it's got that feel tonight. I mean, it's a really two really good teams. So we're very pleased.
Oh, and then there's the style, too, which is fun. It's like, hey, we got the ball, and we're going to sit on it for a little while, and good luck stopping on us.
Well, yeah, we've got Angelo Walker's just a very talented running back, and he's got some guys, other guys in the backfield that are just, really good and bangers, and they're tough, Angelo's, he's one of the toughest kids. I've been around 20 years. He's one of the toughest kids we've had, and plays both ways. So, it's been good. Just ball control, move it down the field, try to eat some clock. So far so good, but they're Central, they're one big play away from being right back in it, and so we'll see what happens.
Hey, usually when we talk to you, you're promoting Sport Night. You're talking about where you can get tickets, but another great event this year, a basketball-centric event with two great guys.
Yeah, that was a blast, and both those guys were just very generous with their time, and everybody had a great time. It was a record crowd. And Nick Baugh did a great job interviewing him, and
Greg McDermott and Dana Altman were the two.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so and they had great banter, and it shows you how the fan base at Creighton. We overlap a lot, the fan base at Prep and Creighton, so it's very nice. And the fans came out for the Creighton Blue Jay fans came out to see those guys. It was a lot of fun.
If you're a basketball fan, I mean, that's two of the best minds that we have in college basketball.
Yeah, and those guys, it was really neat to hear them both talk about how lucky they were to have coached at Creighton University and in Omaha, and it was really neat. That was the theme with both of them, and so two great coaches.
Doc, thanks for stopping by. Continued success.
Absolutely. Yeah, hope to see you guys down the road.
That is Doc Schinzel, the athletic director at Creighton Prep. Halftime 17-0. Prep leads Central. Stats and highlights coming up next.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
$17-0 in favor of Prep at halftime against Central as both teams make their way onto the field. Let's show you how Prep grabbed this lead, trying to get to 6-0, Connor.
Yeah, here's the first offensive play from scrimmage for Central, and really one of their most successful plays all night. Newsome out to Haney, who breaks a tackle and is able to get a first down out of it. But really, that was it offensively for Central. Angelo Walker show the rest of the way. He pops in his first touchdown there on the first offensive drive for the Junior Jays. Now watch this. We had a slide late, no call. We're working with a little new technology here at YurView Omaha, which is fantastic as well. Number 4, let's take a look at this sack by Aaron Shaw coming through. Straight through the offensive line and wrapping up Newsome for the sack there. And lastly, we'll take a peek at Angelo Walker diving in. And look at this motion by Creighton Prep's offensive line. And then, I don't know what you call them, the second offensive line behind the offensive line, but Walker's got a couple scores and Prep's out to a 17-0 lead.
Let's take a look at the Cox Fast Stats, giving football fans all the latest stats courtesy of Cox. 75 rushing yards. It doesn't feel like Central's had the ball very often. That one turnover resulted in a touchdown, but it's been a pretty methodical first half for Prep on offense.
Really just 3 drives. I mean, in 3 short fields for the Junior Jays. The one turnover really ended up hurting Central. It's taken back inside the 20-yard line, made for a short field, and then they get the 3 more points before halftime. So, you have the ability to kind of just sit on them now if you're Creighton Prep with a good start to the second half.
Those are the Cox Fast Stats. The second half is coming up next. 17-0 Prep leads Central on Game Time.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of Elite Protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. we're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
We get ready for the start of the second half, and that is a promising sign for Central, the future Husker. Torrey Pittman III in the class of 27, 5-star safety, top 20 overall. Looked like he injured his groin in the second quarter, Connor, but we watched him here during warm-ups, and I think he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's getting stretched back out anyway, so they're going to need every bit of Torrey Pittman to get back into this game, making a couple plays, whether it be defensively or even we've seen some sporadically offensively this year as well. So Central is going to need a stop coming out of the gate here in the second half. Creighton Prep looking to really try and put the finishing touches on this one and grab a 3+ score lead to start the second half.
Last year, Central won this game 34-30 with a touchdown with a second to go. Now they're down 17-0 as we get set for the start of the second half. Robin Vargas Pablo, who won the Bellevue West game on the opening week on his first time kicking, he kicks off. And this kickoff will be returned from inside of the 10. A little trickery by Prep. Galladay is all the way out across the 35-yard line. Boy, Prep has pulled everything out of the bag. And they go with a little trickery on the opening kickoff of the second half, and they're going to have great field position.
Yeah, we're going to get a great look at this, and everybody sort of converged in the middle, and Sheldon Galladay took it to the outside. That's a nice play by Prep, but nice job by Central to sort of stay in the lane as well, and we have an Eagle down on that far sideline. We'll take a look at who that is. There was some real hard contact on the tackle as well.
So if you look at the point standings, wild card point standings, that is a really good sign because Robert McDonald Jr. has had a good first half for Central. He's got the wind knocked out of him, it appeared. Prep is number 1. Central is tied for 8th. Westside 2nd. Elkhorn South 3rd. That's our matchup next week in Elkhorn. Fremont 4. Omaha North 5th. Jack Lammers, the quarterback. Senior, 6'3", 190, under center to begin the second half. Hands it off to Walker, and Walker is wrapped up this time by big Jerry Jackson Jr. Seems like he has been at Central for many, many years. Also in on the tackle, Kelvon Gordon. There's a lot of beef on that defensive line, and that's a little bit of the philosophy of Tim Williams with the Wildcat running behind 10 blockers that they implemented in the first half.
Yeah, you got to credit the Central defensive lineman. You just saw him there for hanging in there. They so far ditching that second offensive line, still in power sets though for the Junior Jays.
Toss to Walker, running right, and Gordon says not so fast. Back-to-back tackles by Kelvon Gordon, 6'4", a senior, and now a 3rd and 8 on the opening drive of the second half for the Junior Jays, who are up 17.
Good pursuit by Gordon to come back from behind the play and cut off that left side of the field and avoid the cutback, because you know Walker wanted to get out of that pile and turn it back the other way. So a big 3rd down already for Central's D.
Lammers in the pistol with Walker on his hip. They run the ball on 3rd and long, and Walker's going to be short. Boy, Gordon came from behind once again, Connor, from his defensive line spot to make the tackle and force a punt.
It was Pittman who got the first contact. You're going to see it here. Walker trying to cut up field, and bang, there's Torrey Pittman. Head on the ball. Nice play by him, and Gordon picks up the rest. Nice possession by Central's defense.
18 different offers for Torrey Pittman III before he committed to Nebraska. 5-star safety. Be used on defense in Lincoln. He's still got another year of high school football as Walker will punt it away. And yes, he will. A little bit of rugby style. His 16th punt of the year. And this is a really good punt, but it'll take a roll into the end zone. That will be a 56-yard punt for Angelo Walker, who has done a little bit of everything tonight, including 2 touchdown runs. So here comes Central. Shutout in the first half. Just really did not give Newsome an opportunity. And I'll be curious of how they go about trying to get anything going offensively. It seems like, Connor, in the first half, their best offense has been just running Newsome.
That's what they have in the middle of the field. Be curious to see if they get Keith going on the outside and Grigsby as well.
Newsome fakes, runs right up the middle, dances away, and he's got a first down. He's trying to get anything going, and the four-year starter at quarterback, the dual threat, is helping move the chains with his legs. First down for Central.
And that's a really good play to sort of feel, now some pace coming from Central. It's just a great play to feel like, okay, let's get a positive result compounded off of a positive result. Defense turn it into offense.
Newsome to throw to Grigsby. Makes one man miss. Another man misses before he's brought down at the 40-yard line. So you see that, as Connor was alluding to, they've gone with some pace. Central's got some tempo and they've got some movement.
And Grigsby is such a difficult player to catch. A couple of times he's had the ball in his hand tonight. He has broken 2 or 3 tackles.
I think if you have that last name, you're going to be good at Central. Newsome to throw. This time he finds Torrey Pittman, and Pittman is hit right away by Kosmich at the 42-yard line, and that's going to set up third down and about 1.
And you wondered if they were going to get Pittman in there on offense, and there he is. He finds a catch, middle of the field. That's one of the bigger bodies as far as Central is concerned from a pass-catching standpoint. But here's a big third down.
Pittman had a touchdown last week, 19th catch of the year. This time the pass is completed, and it's going to be short of the first down. Morgan Hills caught it. He didn't have any help with blockers, and the pursuit by Prep is going to make it 4th down and 1, and I believe that Terrence Mackey will elect to keep the offense on the field. So here we go. It's about, from our vantage point, 4th down, and I would say a long 1. Haney in the backfield. Pittman comes to the bottom of your screen. 3 wide receivers to the top. Newsome needs 2. This is a big play, down 17-0. Newsome to Grigsby. Can he get a block? And he'll come up short. That Prep defense is on point again. And they'll get the football in great position. Up 17-0 in the third.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Central student section. They're watching us tonight. Look at that phone. Look at that young lady in the front row. They're laughing at what we're talking about, Connor.
I just wonder what the theme is. There's always a theme. That one's not very clear for the Central student section.
Theme this year for Prep 5-0 has been that defense. They stop Central short. Lammers throws it deep down the field, and it is incomplete. Galladay was well away from where the ball landed. He got locked up, and the pocket started to collapse on Lammers.
D'Anthony Dials on the coverage out there. Man, you go back to that 4th down stop, too. It was a great individual play from Nico Kosmich to come up and really get through blockers and make a tackle on the tough-to-take-down Grigsby, and it just puts Prep in another great position. Now they feel like, okay, we can take some shots. We got a comfortable 17-0 lead. How do we add?
Well, in the first half, they ran a wildcat behind 10 blockers. Gone with more of the normal offense, up 17-0. Lammers turns, hands it off to Walker. And Walker's going to fight his way. It probably should have been a 2-yard carry. ends up at about a 4-yard carry, and Gordon makes another tackle for Central. He's off to a great start here in the third quarter, big Kelvon Gordon.
Yeah, speaking of tough to take down, I mean, there's really no room there, and he ducks his way through the pile. Angelo Walker's had a nice night.
So now it is 3rd down and 7. Prep got the ball to begin the third quarter. They were forced to punt, and then they stopped Central on downs. 3rd down and 7. 17-0 in favor of the Junior Jays. 2 touchdown runs by Angelo Walker, who is the lone back in the backfield behind Lammers. Play action. Lammers throws it out of the backfield to the Constantino, and he's got another first down. They've run that twice tonight, and both have resulted in first downs.
That's just a good play by the quarterback, Jack Lammers. He's got a free rusher, Calix Pierce, coming right to him, and he just stands right in there, toss it up, little bobble there, but pulling it in is Constantino, who makes the play after the catch.
That line for Prep also is having a big night. Ravensborg, who was a 3rd-team All-Metro Conference, had a great offseason. He's the unit leader. Now it's a first down. Now to the 28-yard line. They go right back to Walker, and Walker finds a seam! And he's down to the 13-yard line. Again, great blocking on the right side. Walker got skinny, and he got himself a first down.
Yeah, getting skinny once again. Look at this. I mean, it's not like this is a giant hole on the outside. He finds his way through in between the guard and tackle on the right and just takes exactly what is given to him, plus a little bit more.
Lammers under center. They go quick, and too quick because a flag comes out.
Now Prep trying to go with a little bit of tempo here. As they get closer and closer to the goal line, he will try and speed Central up just a little bit more because they've been good in these short yardage situations.
Abdul Muhammad in your 4-screen. Terrence Mackey, late substitution by Central, and they got caught with too many men on the field. So now it'll be first down and 5. And Prep could get a first down without scoring. Up 17-0. Number 3 in the state, 5-0. The inside Buck handoff, and they went to Navarro, and he got tripped up by, I believe, his own lineman, who was in a collision on the turf.
And we'll see who will get credit for this one here. Hey, misdirection got everybody on that one. They've gone to that play a couple times, Prep has tonight. So difficult to defend the varying types of runs they're going to throw at you, especially now in the goal line situation.
2nd and 4, Lammers under center. And here's Walker, and Walker is down at the 2. Pittman upended him. But that'll be a first down, 1st and goal. Angelo Walker, 4th in Class A in rushing. He is going to move up the charts, and that's a good chart to be on. The top 4 rushers are really, really good. But Angelo Walker's having himself a night. 2 touchdowns. He's got 13 on the year. And I would imagine here, Connor, number 2 is getting the ball out of the I formation. He does, and he scores.
I was curious to see if Prep was going to go back to that wildcat that they were throwing out there in the first half, but they go straight down the field in a very similar manner with the quarterback on the field, and Walker's had himself a heck of a night. That may have been his easiest carry of the night. He walked in.
3rd touchdown, 14 on the year. McGarry, who has a 23-yard field goal tonight, in for the extra point. And he pops it through the uprights, and it is 24-0. Angelo Walker loves game time on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
John Carter, our statistician, up here in the booth at the beautiful Burke Stadium, the refurbished Burke Stadium. Angelo Walker. Third touchdown run of the night from 2 yards out. That drive after Prep held Central on down, 7 plays, 42 yards. Angelo Walker, Connor. And I was excited because you were going to get to participate in the player of the game discussion with the crew. Might not be much of a discussion. 27 carries, 92 yards, 3 scores.
My vote would be similar to everybody else's at this point.
So the kickoff, once again, is a touchback. If you are Central, what do you do here?
You have to get back to what you've had a little success with tonight. I mean, and that's really just two things. You get the ball to the outside of the edge in Grigsby's hand, and then off that, it's running Newsome in the middle. But really, the holdup for the Eagles has been getting in their own way, right? So you need to extend a drive, at least get those chains moving once or twice to get yourself feeling good.
Prep hasn't had a power running back since Marty Brown, who went to North Dakota State, now at Miami, since Angelo Walker having a breakout senior year.
Central's got a bunch of confusion here pre-snap.
Caprice Keith moves to the top of your screen. We haven't mentioned his name much. He's headed to Iowa State. And Haney goes the wrong way, and Newsome tries to make something out of nothing, and he'll pinball his way for about 3 yards. And
nobody was on the same page.
Central is out of sync. They're down 24-0 on the heels of a huge win last week. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and really a lot of credit to this Prep defense. Prep gave up 35 opening week. They've only given up 27 in the next 4 games. They've won 2 one-score games against Millard West, which they scored at the end of the game, in Papillion La Vista last week, or the opening week, and this pass is incomplete. They were looking for Keith, and it's broken up. Woodard makes the PBU, but a one-score win opening week, and then the win against Millard West. As we look at the replay,
yeah, we'll take a look. I mean, this is a great ball by Newsome down the field and really in and out of the hands of Keith. And, Newsome puts it right in the perfect spot against a little bit of a breeze tonight. I'd like to see Central take a couple more shots down the field. You don't want to get off the field too quickly, but Central's got to pull some tricks out of their bag now.
Got to do something here in 3rd down and 8. Keith, whose father, Kenton, one of the better football players of the Metro, headed to Iowa State. Newsome, under pressure, going to go down. He gets wrapped up by a host of junior Jays. And Creighton Prep will hold again. David Heine led the charge, got some help. And how about this defense?
Yeah, they have been really hitting it from all angles. And the plus is they're able to get home not adding blitzers, right? So they don't take anybody off of the coverage that are on Central's very, very dangerous players on the edge. So they get home with 4, and they have been having success all night. This defense has been outstanding.
This was a Central offense that put up 31 on West Side. They've been shut out so far tonight. Cosmic. Oh, he's got some space down the near side. He's got to look at the goal line. He's got a touchdown.
More tricks in the bag for Creighton Prep in the return game. We already saw one off of the kick return tonight where they go with a lateral. This time they put dual returners back. Cosmic ends up with it. They also had Owen back there as well. They both split to completely opposite sides of the field, and it was untouched to the end zone.
30-0. Number 3 Creighton Prep making another statement here tonight. McGarry to make it 31. 31-0. Nico Kosmic, and here is the punt return again.
They really just split the field there, both sides, and all the way home is Kosmic. It's all Creighton Prep late in the third.
So Nico, only a junior, and stellar defensively, and every element of tonight's game has been dominated by the Junior Jays.
And, you know, there's Tim Yonk still with the ability to pull some tricks out of the bag. Like we said, a couple fun plays on return situations. That's where Prep felt like they could make up some ground tonight. They've done some different new wrinkles on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, this is a statement right now for Creighton Prep, and I think that's the message they're trying to get across. If these two are right next to each other in the rankings, which they were coming into tonight, the Junior Jays separating themselves at the moment.
And, you know, people were wondering, the last 2 weeks have been a couple of close games as another kickoff will go into the end zone. Just a 7-point win over Millard West, and then last week in a hard-fought game against Papillion La Vista, they won by 11. People were wondering, okay, how good is Prep if you look at their competition? Now, remember, they started with the Sept Jesuit of St. Louis, but this answers a lot of those questions here tonight, if not all of the questions.
No doubt about it. I mean, you get them against quality competition, and this is the biggest statement they've made all season long so far. And you know, Papio really took that game late last week before Prep had to take it. I mean, you know, the Junior Jays are still what they are, right? It's an offense that wants to run the ball and has to run the ball, but so far they have out-physicaled everyone across from them wearing purple and white.
So in this district, Central has beaten Westside. Prep winning tonight. Prep gets Westside in a couple of weeks. Newsom nowhere to throw it. Instead gets rid of it to Keith. Nice job along the near boundary. Spins away the future Cyclone. Former Bellevue West T-Bird is out to the 41. That's going to be a pickup at 21 as Keith did a great job to get a lot of that on his own.
And when the ball is in Caprice Keith's hands, man, he is pretty electric with it. Same thing with Grigsby tonight. So this is a good throw by Newsom on the run. Foot right on the sideline. Keith cuts it back to the middle. Central just trying to get Prep spread out.
Newsom rolls out to his left. Now he'll run. Ooh. And a big collision downfield. He ran smack into Navarro. Newsom gets right back up. Boy, we've seen him for 4 years. He has taken some licks, but he is strong.
He delivered that one. I mean, he went shoulder down. B.J. Newsom running with some attitude on that play.
Down 31-0. So just trying to get anything. They have not spent a lot of time in Prep territory tonight. Newsom gets it out quick, and the pass is incomplete. Again, the great coverage by Prep. Harpster was there. Wasn't going to allow the wide receiver, Morgan Hills, to get free if the pass had been complete.
We had a flag that came in late as well behind the line of scrimmage. Probably didn't get the initial call, but likely a holding here.
So the vibe week to week. Central beats Westside last week 31-28. They contained Tay Jenkins to 106 yards, holding the call on Central. Prep winning tonight 31-0. Westside is up 56-7 at the end of the third quarter against Fremont.
I mean, that District A1, Class A, I mean, Prep's going to look like they're going to go to 6-0 tonight. Central's still a really competitive team. That Prep Westside game in 2 weeks is going to be a lot of fun at the top of this district.
Newsom, pump fake, deep down the field, and it is a 50-50 ball, and it is caught. That is Caprice Keith, whose dad was a star at Benson, and his grandfather played at Nebraska.
Look at that. I mean, just hung up there. It's almost like you're sitting back there waiting for a fair catch if you're Grant Harpster, and cutting right in front of him at the last second was Caprice Keith, and Central gets another ball down the field.
Well, Iowa State is getting a good one. So they move into prep territory. They go to Haney on the ground.
He's been quiet tonight. Central hasn't had the game flow, obviously, in their favor. They've had to try to get it to the edges a little bit more than probably they'd like to tonight. But if you told Tim Yonk, hey, you're going to really put the shutdown on Kylon Haney tonight, he would have agreed to those terms no matter what.
Central knocking on the door for the first time tonight. Newsom steps up in the pocket. Now he's on the run. And he brings him down. We're near the end of the third quarter. Prep 5-0, Central 4-1. The lone loss for the Eagles to North. Sidestep by Newsom, got a couple extra yards.
Went with the stiff arm as well, and Heine just stayed in there and brought him down on the play. He's a tough, physical runner, good thrower of the football too. I mean, we've seen a lot of B.J. Newsom at quarterback for Central over the years, and he just kind of keeps getting better.
Last minute of the third quarter, 3rd down and 2. Pass to Keith in space. Keith all the way down to about the 10-yard line. That's going to be a first down. They have incorporated a lot of Caprice Keith on this drive, and it has turned out to be good. Now they are at the 10-yard line. Very rare that Central has snapped the ball in prep territory tonight. Keith all the way at the bottom. 3 wide receivers to the right of Newsom. The fade to the end zone, and it is over the head. He was looking for Pittman. See a few college coaches standing in the end zone tonight.
Yep. And that play is probably doesn't have much of a name. It's put Torrey Pittman on the edge and try and have him go get it. Just a little bit overthrown and a really, really high ball there by Newsom. So we'll see where the Eagles go on 2nd down.
Could be the last play of the third quarter. It was 17-0 at halftime. It's currently 31-0. Newsom to throw. Pressured. Now he's running. And he's got some green space. Cuts right, and he's in to the 1-yard line and got popped. His helmet comes loose. The ball comes free. They're going to say that he was down. Boy, Newsom has taken some monster hits tonight. That's the second time that he's taken a hit that his helmet has popped off. And the officials come together to determine, one, the spotting of the ball. It's at the 1.
I thought initially,
yes, they will spot it at the 1 as the third quarter comes to an end. Sorry, Connor.
I thought initially he had enough for a touchdown. They're still going to discuss it as we go into our quarter break here. Let's take one more look. Does he get enough?
Oh,
not quite.
Story of the night. Fourth quarter's coming up next.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
B.J. Newsome is on the sidelines after taking that big hit to end the third quarter from Grant Harpster. And they will go Wildcat on the goal line with Haney, and he walks into the end zone. That's how the fourth quarter begins, and Central is on the board.
Go back to that last play, the third quarter. What a collision there on the goal line. Newsome seems to be okay as he's going to trot his way back onto the field right now, and Central's going to try and make this a 2-point conversion. But, man, it is some tough running tonight for the senior quarterback who took a shot at the goal line. Central pushes it in for their first points of the game.
So they will go for 2. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Newsome back on the field. Haney in the backfield with him. Throws it and completes it to Grigsby.
That's a heck of a play there by both Newsome and Grigsby, reaching up and sort of reacting late. So Central gets the full 8 out of the possession, obviously, and far and away their best possession of the night. As they go down the field, they hit a deep ball to Caprice Keith, and that's really the key play of the drive for the Eagles to get them on the board in the first 3 seconds of the fourth quarter.
So let's look at this hit to end the third quarter, Connor. We could hear it all the way up here.
Oof. And Newsome, you notice there, gosh, he might have been close to reaching that ball out after the hit, too. But Newsome sort of is, he's not necessarily giving up on the play, but he's at least slow playing it and trying to, maybe delay a move at the end. And he gets an absolute crack to the midsection, hops right back up, and Central scores on the first play of the fourth quarter to make it 31-8.
Do you think he thought he was in the end zone?
It's possible. Or maybe he's trying to, see if he can get anybody to run by him. He might have thought he was in after the second reach there. Wonder if Central's going to try and put any shenanigans on here.
Looks like they are set up for an onside. Yes. And it is loose. And recovered by Prep. So the kicker, who also is a soccer player, Robin Vargas Pablo, put a little English on it, and Tyler Miles was able to recover it. Let's take a look at the smart call of the game, courtesy of Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Angelo Walker, 3 touchdown runs tonight. Again, we're going to have to come up with a name for that formation. It's the Wildcat with 10 blockers in front.
Yeah.
Elkhorn South runs a formation similar. They call it the Rhino package.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have to come up with a better name that's a little bit more catchy than the second offensive line. Oof.
And Walker gets drilled by Pittman. Torrey Pittman, the third, comes up from his safety spot, goes low, and takes out the legs of Walker.
Now that's exactly what you want to see from a safety and a 5-star recruit. And Torrey Pittman comes up like a bullet and dives in right at the legs of Walker for the good stop.
Sophomore quarterback Ben Leslie is in a 31-8 game underway here in the fourth quarter. Game time on YurView. Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. It's been all prep, trying to get to 6-0. With 3 weeks to go in the regular season. More trickery. Pass back to Leslie. Catches it. And he is hauled down. Back-to-back really nice open field tackles by Pittman III. Oh, man. Tim Williams is on one tonight. Former Papillion La Vista head coach, now on the staff here, involved with the offense. We have seen doses of everything. That was a Woodward pass to Leslie. But Pittman the third with a great open field tackle, and it's 3rd down and 9. Leslie under pressure. Mumphrey on the chase. Gordon on the chase. Leslie on the throw. Deep down the field. And it is incomplete. He was looking for Brody Austin. The pass is not connected on. It'll be 4th down.
What a throw here by Ben Leslie rolling out to his left. This is a difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to his left and on the run, really puts it perfectly on the mark and just couldn't come up with the play. But, man, that is a sharp-looking arm from the sophomore, Ben Leslie.
How about this, Connor? So there's still 10.5 to go. It's 31-8. The Central defense holds, and now they're going to get the ball. Maybe they found something offensively. Walker, boy, held on to the ball a long time before he punted away, and Grigsby will let it roll in a good bounce for Central, and then it was picked up by Central, and they got good field position. When you return, don't go away. 31-8.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
31-8. Central gets the football and good field position. They're at the 42. They've just got on the board for the first time tonight on their previous drive. They started to find the hookup of Newsome to Keith and an empty backfield to begin this possession here in the fourth quarter. Newsome under pressure. Now he'll run, and he's got a lot of room to run. He's across midfield, and he slides down after a pickup of 14.
Well, Central now they get to play their game a little bit. They come off of that touchdown drive, and we'll get a look at Newsome here. Just turns down the throw from the outside and gets it on the run. So if there's a team that can really get you with the big play, it's Central. They still need a few of them, but they're getting some positive momentum going their way.
Been fun to watch BJ in his 4 years. Pump fake, throws it out to the flat, and it was off target, a little bit low for Yasir Grigsby. He taps his chest and says, my fault. That was a low pass.
Low, but, I mean, really, the receivers have been pretty steady-handed tonight.
Yeah, you're right. There was one went right through the hands of Grigsby. That is a rarity. For a sophomore, he's pretty sure-handed. So it does stop the clock. 2nd down and 10. Ball resting at the 42. Central needs points, and they need lots of them here in the fourth. Newsome loses the football. Walker may have it. He does. Or are they going to? There is no signal yet. Walker and Newsome were battling for it. They're going to call Newsome down on another prep sack.
Wow, we'll get another look at this. It looked like he put it on the ground to keep balance. Yeah, that has to be a fumble. Now, they don't get the benefit that we do to see it again, and Prep looks like they got the recovery off it as well. So Central gets a break off that.
Messiah Sidzik has been really good in the interior defensive line for Prep tonight. 3rd down and 15, 4-down territory for Central. Newsome fires it deep down the field and throws it up, and it's intercepted. Cosmic, who has a punt return for a touchdown. Does he have a pick six in him? Down the side, knocked out of bounds.
I think that's just some frustration from Newsome, who, Prep was on the last 2 or 3 plays there, finally bringing some extra pressure. And he's got a guy right in his face and throws it far too deep. Little miscommunication there with Keith and Grixby, who were on the patterns down the field. Newsome takes a hit as he throws, and clearly after that ball on the ground too, Newsome was a little bit frustrated and he gives up an interception.
So with 8:35 to go, Prep takes over. Leslie at quarterback. And they run it for minimal gain. They're Carney with the carry. So up 31-8. Tim Yonk is going to use this opportunity to play some of his backups. Jacob Ford is coming to the game at running back. Let's get a look at Tim Yonk now in his 9th year. Lots of smiles on that Prep sideline. Last 2 years, Prep has been knocked out in the first round of the postseason. They might be the #1 seed this year. Carney running behind that big offensive line, and he got a good block. And he's going to be close to a first down. All right, Prep just dominating the line of scrimmage tonight on both sides.
That flag came in, so it was during the run as Carney was sort of waiting to pick his spot. We've seen a versatile role tonight from Jake Carney as well, a little wildcat quarterback earlier in the game, and now it's a straight-up running back here in the second half. They're going to count backwards. It'll be holding likely on the Junior Jays. It is.
It's a gorgeous night for football here at the refurbished Burke Stadium, the home of the state track and field meet. It's on the campus of Omaha Burke High School. We played here last night. This is Prep's home field. Prep does not have a field on campus at 72nd and Western. 2nd and 15. Carney again on the carry, and he's going to go down. He's making the tackle. Was Robert McDonald Jr.
When Prep has had to drive the length of the field on a normal size drive, a 70-yard drive or so, Central has been able to stand up so far tonight. It's just these opportunities for Creighton Prep that have led to short fields, getting the touchdowns there before the half on a couple of them. We started those 2 touchdown drives in the first half, each on the Central side of the field, but Central's held up when Prep's had to go for longer distances.
Play action. Sophomore, we've already seen how big his arm is. Launches it downfield. It's caught out of midfield, and a flag comes out. Cosmic, who's had himself a night, makes a great catch, and we'll see what the flag is.
And it came in right at the time of the hit there as well, so we might have a personal foul. Yeah. It looked like they're going to get Cecilio Lourdan for it here. Good throw once again. Not on the initial hit, but on the second one. And see, now that's just tough because it's Pittman who really absorbs most of the contact on the hit from Lourdan. Unfortunately, Prep's going to get 15 more yards out of it. The hit didn't get directly delivered to the ball carrier's head, which is what they were looking for, but there was some really hard contact, but it was Pittman who absorbed most of it.
6.5 to go. All Prep tonight, 31-8. And all the way down to the 35-yard line. Taking their time on the clock. And a fumble! Pittman tried to scoop it. It's still loose on the field. And I believe Central's getting it on top of it. And yes. So they tried that inside handoff to Navarro. And this time he couldn't hold on to it. And Prep is able to come up with a fumble recovery.
Well, it's Sheldon Galladay who had it at the bottom of the pile. We're going to see this thing bounce around a lot here. Pittman had a chance to pick it up. And then Dial had a chance. Now the ball gets loose, and you never really know who recovers in those situations.
Hey, how many people at home are screaming at their television, just fall on it, just fall on it?
Fall on the ball. It's a couple guys trying to make something happen there, and credit Creighton Prep for making it a little bit difficult on Central.
So timeout taken by our officials. I believe that when they're going to spot the football. Do want to mention, we've been talking all night. This is our first trip into Burke Stadium, which has been around for 5 decades. Again, the home of the state track and field meet. The 4-day event, which is a record-setting in terms of attendance. But this is all new. We're up here. There.
You can see some waving
Yeah,
arms.
that's us here in the booth. That's Connor. Look, there's Connor. But they have new radio booths, television booths. $8 million project. Took about 10 years. A lot of people involved. Burke alumni, OPS. And it is fantastic.
Yeah.
They've got a brand new scoreboard. You couldn't ask for anything better. And the state track and field meet not going anywhere, and a luxury for Burke athletics as well. Newsome launches it deep down the field to Keith, and it's incomplete at the goal line. As Harpster knocked it away.
And, I mean, it really is. One of the best ones has to be, there is a flag near the line of scrimmage, by the way. But a great facility, probably from a press perspective and broadcasting perspective, the best in the state that isn't the home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. You got the big scoreboard on the north side there up on top of the hill, and a perfect setting for the state track meet in May.
On the other side of that scoreboard, the Dodge Expressway. This legendary high school, Omaha Burke. You've probably played in this stadium and then over at the baseball field, which is just up the hill and on the corner, right?
That's right, yeah. And they have excellent facilities around here, an easy place to get to right off Dodge.
Little toss to Haney, who's got the only touchdown tonight, and Haney's got speed and steam and space. And he's going to be short of the first down. It's a pickup of about 20. Remember when Burke used to be West Omaha?
Yeah. This is was one of the westernmost schools for a long time, as we'll have a holding on Central, and this will unfortunately get called back for the Eagles. There's Terrence Mackey looking on. Central kind of can't get out of their own way. It's been a theme of the night tonight, but you're right, Gary. I mean, this used to be the westernmost point. There's an OPS school on 156 in Ida now. It's hard to believe how this town has sort of grown this way. This is more Midtown than anything else now at 120th and Dodge.
Well, you got a good look there at the third-year head coach Terrence Mackey. This is a letdown, especially after how big a victory it was last week against Westside. And maybe you think they would have a little bit of a letdown, but they've run into a buzzsaw tonight, down 31-8. They haven't been able to get anything going offensively. Credit to Brian Monson, the former Husker, who was the defensive coordinator for Prep. And here's Keith in space, tried to reverse direction, and once again, a nice open field tackle. Jordan Udofia makes the solo tackle, and that's been the story. Prep has not given up much leaky yardage to this speedy Central team.
Well, and once again, I mean, Central gets a positive play, but it gets called back due to a penalty, and that's been really a theme. We knew that that's part of what happens in Central games when we coming into tonight, but it's really played out quite a bit too, and Prep hasn't made the mistakes.
Prep 4 minutes and 55 seconds away from being 6-0. Newsome to throw. It is caught and going the wrong direction. Marlon Brewer, the junior, he tried to break free of Jacob Ford, but Ford locks him up and brings him down.
Yeah, and that's a great credit to Prep there, because you know exactly what Central's trying to do. They're trying to dump it into the short field and just get an athlete moving. And it's one-on-one. So credit Jacob Ford, who just makes a play in the open field. He's the only one around and brings down the speedy receiver there. That's a sneaky, tough play.
It is 3rd and all the way to Blondo. 3rd and 29. 31-8. Newsome throws it downfield. It is caught by Grigsby, and he is stopped in his tracks at midfield by Heine. We thought we'd see Grigsby a lot tonight. That's a credit to Prep. They have really locked up the good-looking sophomore wide receiver.
Yeah, he's still found a way to get involved in this game as much as he can, but mostly Prep has shut down the primary playmakers tonight. For Central, Newsom is still really hanging in there, though. You got to like the game of the senior quarterback who just keeps coming after it.
So, at 4th and 8, this might be the last play on offense of the night for the Eagles. Haney's in the backfield. Newsom needs 8. Stops, fires it downfield, first down. All right, Keith made a nice catch along the sideline. Somehow stayed in bounds, and he's brought down by 4 junior Jays.
Man, once again, difficult to bring down, but how about this play by Newsom? Looked like he was going to run, stepped up into the pocket, put his head down. Look at this, and puts on the brakes and immediately throws it back to the other side of the field. Excellent job by the quarterback from the Eagles.
6'3", 205 pounds. Caprice Keith. They'll hand it off to Haney. And Haney stays on his feet. That balance of being a really good wrestler helped him out there. Knocked out of bounds on the far side. And that's going to be a first down. Just have not had enough of those tonight out of Kylon Haney.
No. Most of what Central's got done in between the tackles has been with Newsom. And so finally Haney gets to let out a little frustration and did so with a couple broken tackles at the end of that play.
31-8. I think they might have to take a crack at the end zone here, but they will go with Haney, and maybe he can get them to the end zone. And he is inside of the 10. Boy, good job of reading his blocks and weaving his way downfield, and a little slow to get up.
He went down hard at the end of that play. That's another good run by Haney, who needs a break, but gosh, these electric Central playmakers have the ball in their hand. It is tough to catch them, and hopefully just a cramp here for Jordan Udofia.
It's Kylon Haney, who was offered by Nebraska as a freshman. Still weighing his options. I believe that Haney and Pittman will be in Lincoln tomorrow when Nebraska takes on Michigan State. Step aside. We'll be back for the final 2:35. All Prep tonight on Game Time.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
It's been a pleasure to have Connor Happer with us tonight on Game Time. I'm Gary Sharp. 2:15 to go. 31-8 in favor of Prep. They are resetting the clock. They always look up to us. We have no control. We were at Central earlier this year, Connor, and they were playing North, and we had some clock issues. They thought we were running the clock.
Yep.
So people were hollering at us.
If you look in the general direction of the press box, you might be able to find somebody, but no, it's not us. We're wishing and hoping just like you are.
So I think this might be a scenario where they're going to keep the time on the field. We know that we are under 3 minutes to go on a night that has been all Prep. Again, the last time Prep finished a regular season unbeaten, and keep in mind they still have a trip to Phelps Field to take on Westside, was 2008 when they went 9-0. They haven't been to the final since 14. Haney inside of the 5. So Central still has Papillion La Vista, Millard North, and Fremont. And there's a Eagle down. And that is Gordon, who has had a really good second half, especially on defense. That's just not a good sign. As coming out to attend to him, Jamar Dorsey, former college football player. He's great in the community. Coach Dorsey talking to his big offensive lineman. And good to see Jamar before the game. He missed one of the games early this year. His daughter got married on a Friday. He said, Coach, Fridays, save them for Saturdays. Now Terrence Mackey looking at the fallen offensive lineman Calvin Gordon. Next week, another good one on tap and an important one for the postseason. Omaha West Side travels to Elkhorn to take on the Storm, who are rolling. Prep and Elkhorn South will be the only two teams to start the year 6-0. We'll have that for you next week right here on Game Time on Your View, 7 o'clock. West Side and Elkhorn South, a rematch of the state title game from a couple of years ago. We'll get Tay Jenkins run the ball for the Warriors and Jaden Sutko for the Storm. That'll be a lot of fun. Hope you can join us next Friday night when the Warriors and the Storm meet. Gordon is helped to his feet. It's just, you don't want to see that, especially late in the game. Can't put any weight on his left leg and slowly make his way to the sidelines. Let's get a look at the Central section. Now to be second down and goal. They do have a lot of trainers on site here. And they have a doctor. I see the team doctor for prep running across the field. And they'll get a look at Calvin Gordon. Second down and goal from the 4. Haney in the backfield with Newsom. Haney's got the ball. Haney cuts to the outside. And he runs head down. Ran right into the defensive back, Woodward, who has had a good night. He'll come up short, and it'll be third down and goal at the 1.
Yeah, and you see, we finally get to see it a little bit here in the fourth quarter of Kylon Haney likely going to him here on this one.
And with a little bit of push from Newsom, Haney is into the end zone for the second time tonight. So Haney with his 5th touchdown run of the season. Actually, check that, make it his 8th touchdown run of the year.
You can see him there. He's gassed after a couple runs in a row, and really tough, strong runs too. Even though he's chunking away from a yardage perspective, Creighton Prep making it pretty tough on Kylon Haney.
They will go for 2 again. Haney's in the backfield with Newsom. Newsom turns. The fade to Keith. He caught it. So they've converted twice on 2-point conversions. It's Caprice Keith. Well, he's going to be a great pickup for Iowa State.
Yeah.
We've seen him the last 3 years at Bellevue West. He transferred to Central to play with a couple of his good friends in his senior year, and he'll go across the river into Ames to play for Matt Campbell. I believe they will have him as a wide receiver, but we've seen tonight he can play both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he looks excellent on the edge tonight for Central. And they say on that play, just throw it up to the corner and see if you can get the toes down. Central's going to try an onside kick here. They've gone for 2 and got it successfully twice. So you're still down by 15 points. Full 2 possessions in the final 2 minutes. But once again, as we said before, if there was ever a team that feels like they could strike quickly. It's this group with the playmakers they have on the edges and Newsome at quarterback. So, first things first, you got to get the onside kick. Eagles still have 3 timeouts left as well.
Former Husker wingback from Compton, California, Abdul Muhammad, who won a national championship in Lincoln in the 90s, is in charge of special teams. Abdul doing great work at the Boys and Girls Club in North Omaha, his homegrown program. And then he's in charge of the 7-on-7, which is really taken hold with Central. Here's the onside kick. And it is going to go. Well, before the kick, there's a flag.
False start. So on this near side here, it looked like the group that was on the near side for Central thought it was coming their way, and they got going a little bit early.
Well, it is the story of the year. So Vargas Pablo kicked a game-winning field goal with 9 seconds to go. Central began the year. They were down 17 in the last 8 minutes, 1 against Bellevue West. The head coach had forgotten his kicker's name when he sent him out there to kick the game-winning field goal. Now he's got to kick it onside, and he drills it to the open part of the field. It's rolling, and it's finally going to go out of bounds. Yeah, Terrence Mackey forgot his kicker's name. He was asked after the game about the game-winning kick, and he goes, didn't know his name. This is his first year playing football. So Central will try and regroup. They're going to fall to 4-2. Prep will advance to 6-0. So Westside has beaten Bellevue West, Central has beaten Bellevue West and Westside. They'll fall to Prep here tonight, so they've lost to Prep and North. It'll be interesting behind Millard South what the rest of the Class A bracket looks like and what it ends up as.
Prep sitting at the top of the wild card table right now, obviously, with the forfeited loss by Millard South. They finish this thing out. They're in control of their own destiny for the 1 seed. We'll see how the rest of it shakes out sort of behind them. Wherever Millard South is at this point, you'd like to be on the opposite side of the bracket from them if you're one of the top 4 seeds in the state.
They snuck Walker back into the game on the carry there. And, the thing about Millard South, they had to forfeit their win out in Vegas. So they're not going to be the number 1 seed. So somebody is unfortunately going to see Millard South a lot earlier than they thought they would.
It's just a question of does Millard South end up as the 2, the 3, the 4, certainly possible as well. And you just want to meet them as late as you possibly can and give them your best shot, whether it's in the semifinal or the final. So Central takes their time out there, and only got to come up with a stop. They're trying to punch a ball out likely as well. You mentioned it, Gary. Walker in the game. No better guy to have the ball in his hands late. You wonder what Central's sort of talking about in that huddle. They need something to happen on this play or the next.
Walker with 3 touchdown runs tonight. We'll check to see if he is the Roll-Off Construction 100% employee-owned player of the game. Coming up on the post-game show that's 1:48 away. All Prep tonight. They have led from the jump. Walker carries it again out near midfield. Again next week, Omaha Westside, we get to see Braylon Warren, Tay Jenkins, Bryson Williams against Elkhorn South. Jaden Sutko and more, as Central is going to take a timeout because now it's 3rd down and 1. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
So if Central can get a stop here, they've got Newsome who would take a crack at the end zone, but they got to get the ball back, and it is only 3rd down. That's coming up next week. Omaha Westside, Elkhorn South, right here on Game Time, 7 o'clock. Airtime at beautiful Elkhorn Stadium. That should be a great, great matchup as Westside looks like they woke up angry today. After losing to Central last week, they blow out Fremont, and Elkhorn South here in this stadium last night shut out Burke 63-0.
Maybe next Friday we'll get some October weather finally. We got summer here.
Yeah, it was 83 at kickoff. Leslie gets the first down. Lowers his head, and that should about do it. And Creighton Prep staff, this is a really good staff. Tim Yonk had his best offseason in 25 years. He's assembled a really good staff. Had a lot of buy-in. They are physical. They've got a great strength and conditioning program here. Trent Clausen, who has been a strength and conditioning coach with college football programs. They are typical Prep, and they've got wins to back it up. And they're going to win tonight against Central. They're going to be 6-0. And now they will run the favorite play in football. Just to kneel down as we hit a minute to go. The thing about it also is, Connor, they got a lot of sophomores and juniors that are contributing.
Well, it's starting to be a little bit more common, as well. You start to be able to trust those guys earlier in their career. But when you think about Prep teams that have had success and they've gone deep into that state tournament, you think about some older, experienced teams. They have really all the pieces to be able to make a deep run in the month of November.
Good smile by Tim Yonk. Big victory. Prep 6-0. Tonight, they defeat Central 31-16. A pretty thorough effort for the Junior Jays. Tim Yonk and Terrence Mackey will shake hands at midfield. We'll be back with our player of the game and some final thoughts. All Prep tonight, 31-16 on Game Time.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
First time seeing Prep this year, we are impressed. Angelo Walker, 30 carries, 102 yards, 3 scores, and a pretty impressive effort by Prep tonight to remain unbeaten. They win 31-16. Welcome back. Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Tim Yonk, he is super excited about this team, and why not? They were good on both sides of the ball, really, in all 3 phases tonight.
Yeah, they were outstanding. There's no doubt about it. And you have to give it to one guy, our player of the game tonight is indeed Angelo Walker. 30 carries, 102 yards. Yes, I'll repeat that. 30 carries for 102 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. He makes up, well, quite the percentage of Creighton Prep's total offense tonight. Prep didn't have to do much as far as the total offense was concerned. They only go 154 total, and Angelo Walker responsible for 102 out of the 109 yards on the ground for the Junior Jays tonight. It was all Angelo Walker tonight for Prep's 6-0 squad heading into mid-October.
Roloff Construction, player of the game, 100% employee-owned. Final thoughts coming up after this, after Prep's 6th straight victory to begin the season on Game Time.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
That is an excited group of Junior Jays who celebrate with their student body, and why not? That's a football team, Connor, that is 6-0 with a 31-16 victory tonight over Central.
Dominant, sound, focused, all-around effort tonight. Offense, defense, and a little trickeration on special teams as well. Why not, as they take a punt back for a touchdown too, and ended up needing a little bit more than they thought there in the fourth quarter and get a 2-touchdown win tonight over Central.
Sing the fight song and sing it loud and be proud, because Prep is 6-0. The only two unbeaten teams in Class A, Elkhorn South and Prep. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hope you had a good time.
Thanks for the invite. I sure did. Hey, how about that on the way out? See you later, everybody.
That's Dan Flynn, our referee. That's Connor Happer. Brad Pace, our director. John Cutter, our statistician. I'm Gary Sharp. Next Friday night, another big one. Omaha Westside, Elkhorn South. We'll see you at 7. Again, the final score from Burke, 31-16 Prep over Central. Good night, everybody.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296